All right, here we are. Let's see what we got going here. All right, here we are, guys. All right. This just got away. There we go. So now we're all lined up. We're not all cockeyed. So welcome in, everybody. What's up, Raymond? What's up, Nightshade? How you doing, McCash? How's everybody doing? We're just gonna wait for a few other new people to show up. Yep, first to light. Oh, my day was actually pretty good until the rain hit. But my cooking, sublime tonight. Yeah, hi everybody. How's everyone doing? Welcome into the show. So yeah, we're at my friend's house tonight because hey dude, what's up, Sean? Yeah, it's raining like crazy, man. It's not a pretty sight. We got some serious thunder and everything coming too. We got a Gulf storm that blew in. So yay! Oh, it's good to hear everybody's doing great and they're doing good. So we're gonna go on ahead and get started then. So yeah, guys, fickle people. Fickle people. And in case you don't know what fickle means people that are flip-floppy. They're one way one moment and they change their mind the next second. This can happen to just about anybody. You can run into fickle people anywhere. And I'm sorry to hear you're sick, Nightshade. I have no idea if it's heading towards Michigan. Okay then, McCash. Boom. There you go. So anyway, guys, what's up, Wyatt the Gamer? How you doing, man? What's up, Eddie Spaghetti? I remember you definitely. But so yeah, fickle people. What does that mean? The people that I run into that are fickle most of the time is people that say that they're one way. They promise you support, they promise you being there and everything like that, and then they change their mind on you. And it's usually because they can't handle your personality or something. They didn't know who you were, and that's fine. That's fine. You can move on from that every time. There's also fickle people that they say that they'll drop anything at the drop of a hat. They'll come help you out, right? And they never show up. They never do what they say they're gonna do. And big lightning, but they never do what they say they're gonna do. Guys, and these are definitely people that you don't want to be around. Sometimes a person can be fickle because of their traditions. Sometimes they can be fickle because of their attitude. Or because of past experiences. All these things can meld into one. Another thing that plays a big influence on it is the people we hang around and the people we talk to. These can play a huge influence on whether or not we're flip-flop or whether or not we're solid in our convictions. And guys, I've always tried to stick solid to my conviction, no matter what. You want to know why? Because I can't help but be me. I can't help but be myself. Guys, and that's a huge part of life. Learning how to be yourself, guys, because you can't be yourself, what you gonna do? Guys, and it's, oh, you got the flu. Oh, I just subscribed to your channel, Nige. Oh, okay. Deuteronomy, I'm gonna call you Dem. Just gonna call you Dem. I can't answer that question because I don't watch contemporary sports. I watch different kinds of sports, like HEMA. If you don't know, look it up. But anyway, so yeah, fickle people. They can actually make your life difficult. They can cause stress. They can cause anxiety. They can cause all kinds of problems for you. But the main thing is you got to worry about those ones that are not only fickle, but vindictive. Because if they're vindictive in the process, they're going to do something to hurt you in the process. They're not only going to quit being your friend, quit talking to you, or not do anything for you. The second you say something about it, the second you confront them about it, they're going to have an issue. Now, this has nothing to do with the issues of the few people that have left my channel lately. This has nothing to do with that. I actually literally just talked with a friend of mine and was like, hey, what do I talk about tonight? And he had a girlfriend that suddenly switched over and said, I fell out of love with you. And he was the one who brought up this topic. So guys, don't think this has anything to do with anything going on with the other people that have had a falling out with me recently, because honestly, I've forgiven them and moved on, But the main thing is, guys, you got to be able to pay attention to those around you. If you've got people whose attitude's going to change every second at the drop of a hat, they're going one moment they're supporting you, one moment they're not. You really need to pay attention to those people, because those people can actually end up getting you in trouble. No matter what it is, people who they sometimes bring something back, they sometimes don't let them borrow anything. It's just simple things. You can stay friends with them. You can stay respecting them. You just know better than to trust them with this or to trust them with that. It's simple little things. It's simple little things we take for granted a lot of times. And that's something that not very many people think about. Not a lot of people will sit there and think, this person's changed their mind on me before. So what should I do? Now, what I say you should do is approach the person, talk to them, tell them how you feel. Say, hey man, it feels like you've been going one way and then all of a sudden you changed and went another way. What happened? And if they're good friends, they'll tell you the truth. Hey, look, man, this has been bugging me. I didn't know how to bring it up to you, so I'm telling you now. Thank you for coming to me about it. I've been afraid to confront you. I've had that happen to me. And then at the same time, I've had people say, well, I just don't want to talk to you. So you always got to be careful about that. But there's always a reason behind it. So you always got to get to the bottom of it. Usually it could be something simple, like a misunderstanding. Guys, misunderstandings are usually a lot of the big deal of what's going on. Misunderstandings is usually what happens the most. Miscommunications, misunderstandings. Let's see, what else? There's a list, but they're all simple little tiny things. They can easily be fixed with a simple apology, a handshake, and a forgiveness. That's all you got to do. And the wonderful thing about being able to do that is that these people might have a habitual problem. But guys, you can love them anyway. You can make them feel loved anyway. Because everybody deserves to feel loved. No matter who you are. You deserve to feel some form of love. And you don't deserve to have somebody that's going to support you one second, drop you the next, or that's going to not do something for you when you need it. You also don't need somebody in your life that's going to be your friend one second, not be your friend the next. You need people that are going to stand by you guys. You need people that are going to be like, I am your homie. You are my family. And together we face the world together. Now, you don't need that friend that's going to be like, I'm sorry, and pat you on the back when somebody made you cry. You need that friend that's going to be going and getting a damn shovel and a shotgun going, okay, point him out. You know what I mean? That's the kind of friend you need. You need friends that'll stick up for you. You need friends that'll love you. You need friends that'll care for you. And it's those friends that lift us up and make us feel better about ourselves and turn us into better people. It's the ones that turn their backs for small things. It's the ones that leave over trivial matters. My friend's girlfriend, the one that left him, she left him recently because of financial issues. He didn't make enough money for her. Now, this guy makes $32 an hour. $32 an hour. And that's not enough money for this young lady. They live in a $100,000 home on 3 acres down a county road. Beautiful. Not enough for the young lady. Hold on just a moment. Yeah. Doing my show, but Beavis. I love you, Bubba. Sorry about that, guys. My friend called me and needed some help. He needed something to drink, to be honest. So I went on ahead and got myself some nice good tea just so I could join you guys. What's up, everybody? Wow, we got some real good. We got a whole lot of people in here. What's up, Alfredo? Hello, subject. How you doing, brother? Everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, back to the conversation, the topic. You want people that's going to lift you up. You want people that's going to bring you higher. You don't want anybody that's going to bring you down. And you've got to be able to look through all the bull crap and look inside yourself and see, honestly, what makes you happy. You need to be able to look deep down and see exactly what you. And guys, if what you want to do is outside the norm, that's okay. If what you want to do is something different, try it. You never know. It might be the next big thing, So show up your weird. Fly your freak flag. Guys, I have a friend named Ian. We interviewed him today. Man's a transgender. He's awesome. Now, I don't normally get along with them because, well, quite frankly, I don't understand them, and I tend to make them mad when I misgender them. What's up, bro? I am a woman. Okay, yes, sir. Sorry. I mean, ma'am. Oh, I did it again. I tend to have that problem. But, so I tend to make them mad. But Ian is awesome. Very accepting young man and an incredible person. And he sticks to his guns. He's very honest about everything, and he's up front. Now, that's a good friend. He tries to lift you up. Ohan, man, you're in here. You're awesome, all right? Elijah, I hope you see it. I hope you saw my short I threw out for you. It got buried in a draft and did not upload. So I hope you caught that short, man. It was specifically for you. James, what is up? Hello, my friend. Welcome to the swamp. Welcome, welcome. I hope you like the artwork on the cover. That was actually some of my own personal artwork for my story. But I'm now a gender fluid person too. Yeah, I understand that one. Aren't you a they them? Nightshade? I can't remember. She could be a he, him, she, they, them, or more. Yeah, I mean, honestly, they can be all kinds of stuff. But whatever you identify as, if you identify as a he, him, a they, them, an it, a whatever, a slab of bacon, I don't care. Guys. You know, quite frankly, I identify as a brownie. But anyway. But so you can do whatever you want. Be who you want to be. Ava Max released a song recently when it went viral for a little bit with some Sonic stuff that everybody was doing, which was that song "Choose Your Fighter." And as the lyrics, we all know the lyrics, how they go. That song, if you literally listen to it, it's literally telling you, be yourself. Don't worry about what anybody says. Be who you are. And if who you are is great, then let it shine, everybody. Let it shine for the whole world to see. Now, if who you are is a little dark, maybe hide it a little bit, but that's up to you. But now if who you are is just a average Joe, just wanting to make a regular old everyday living, go for it, buddy. Be that blue collar working man that Styx sings about, which, by the way, Styx is actually going back into concert tour, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, definitely give it a shot. Give it everything you got, no matter what it is you're doing. Give it everything you've got. Put your heart and soul into it. And these fecal people, not fecal, fickle. Yeah, fickle. These fickle people are, they're going to get on your nerves. They're going to try to bring you down. They're going to hurt you eventually. They're going to break your heart. And you've got to prepare yourself for that. I have a saying, which is prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Guys, because if you're prepared for the worst, you're prepared for the best. But the whole thing about that is when you meet somebody, expect them to maybe not be your friend right off the bat, because most of the world won't be, but you can sure give it a shot. You can sure try, guys, because there's nothing wrong with being kind. There's nothing wrong with being respectful. No, there's nothing wrong with actually being a decent human being. Because when you're fickle and you're flip-floppy and you bounce around and you're like, oh, I don't know, this, that, and the other, then, usually people tend to be discouraged and they want to quit being your friend. Now, there is a difference whenever you sit there and you tell somebody, hey, I need some time to think something over. Now you're being honest. But if you're sitting there and you're telling somebody, hey, no, I'm just busy. I'll get to you when I can. Now you're lying. Be honest about it.